One of the largest differences between 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons and previous editions is bounded accuracy. 3rd edition players hate it, dice sellers love it. So what is bounded accuracy and how does it affect just about everything in 5th edition? Bounded accuracy is a principle that, since a proficiency bonus is from 2 to 6, and ability scores rarely give more than a +5, the outcome of rolling a d20 to determine something is bounded with a minimum and maximum score. For skill checks, the minimum for something a player is proficient in is bounded at 3, and the maximum is bounded at 31. Attack rolls are similarly bounded, which means armor class is almost always less than 25. In Dungeons & Dragons, rolling a d20 is used to determine the outcome of an attempt to try something difficult or to score a hit in combat. The die represents the chance inherent in any action, and a character's ability determines the rest. A player determines the outcome by adding the relevant ability and the proficiency bonus to the roll. In 3rd edition, the ability score could grow over 20 with certain bonuses and feats. Skill check scores increased with each level, using skill points to increase. Skill points vary depending on the character's class and their intelligence. The bonus to hit in combat increased by level. For a martial class like a paladin or fighter, you would add the level and their ability score to any roll. So for a 5th level paladin with a +2 strength score, you would add +7 to hit. At 20th level, that same paladin would get 22. In 5th edition, the ability score is generally limited to 20. The proficiency bonus increases every 4 levels, maximizing at a +6. Proficiency applies both to skill checks and to attack rolls, with no differences between classes and no differences based on intelligence. For a martial class, like a paladin or fighter, you have the same proficiency to hit or succeed at a skill check as any other class. So for that 5th level paladin with a +2 strength score, you'd add +5 to hit. At 20th level, the same paladin would add +8. Limiting accuracy works for both player characters and monsters. Most monsters will have a bonus to hit of between 2 and 12. The armor class of monsters is likewise limited. In 3rd edition, an ancient red dragon has an armor class of 38. A level 1 player with a proficiency of +1 and a +2 strength would only hit if it got a nat 20. In 5th edition, an ancient red dragon has an armor class of 22. A level 1 player would have a proficiency of +2 and +2 strength. They'll hit about 15% of the time. Bounded accuracy makes combat more fun for all levels. In a 3rd edition game I play, my DM let us go against some goblins. My level 4 paladin had an AC of 22, and the goblins had a +1 to hit. So the only way they could hit me was by getting a nat 20. Whereas my paladin's +8 to hit, got a +1 sword here, beat their armor class of 15 65% of the time. It was a cathartic bloodbath reminiscent of Goblin Slayer. I went through the monster manual from Aboleth to Beholder Zombie, and I got this as kind of a chart output showing the number of monsters for each armor class. You'll notice most of the monsters have an armor class somewhere between 13 and 17, which means for your startup character with a +2 strength and a +2 proficiency, you're hitting around 55 to 35% of the time. And if you are a mid-tier character with a +7 to hit for the armor class 13 to 17, we're talking between 70 and 50% of the time, which means about every other turn, you're going to get some damage done. With bounded accuracy's effect on AC, the likelihood a player could get a hit in went up. So 5th edition increased the hit points of many monsters to keep them alive for the same number of turns. That ancient red dragon went from 362 hit points in 3rd edition to 546 in 5th edition. Goblins even went from 5 to 7. This made it more likely that a player would carve a chunk out of a monster on any given turn, even if the overall fight lasted just as long. But damage increased in 5th edition as well. A level 5 paladin with 14 strength and divine smite could do 1d8 +2 +4 damage in 3rd edition. In 5th edition, that same level 5 paladin would do 1d8 +2 +2d8 damage. But wait, there's more. In 5th edition, the same paladin can use a higher spell slot for their smite and could if going against a fiend or undead, add an extra dice. So you end up with 1d8 plus 2 plus 4d8 damage. This is where bounded accuracy and higher damage can make short work of large foes in 5th edition. So how do we fix this and make memorable combats? Leave your favorite methods in the comments below.